Hello guys, welcome back to Watch Addiction Watch Reviews. Hope you're having an awesome day. Today we are taking a look at the Bastian Antoni Turbulent. Now this is a smaller boutique brand. They do not consider themselves a micro brand. They started on their own and they really put all they had into it to produce their first model in front of you, which is the Turbulent. It's a pretty unique watch and it's a pretty cool looking watch. Once we get into it, you'll see what I'm talking about. The price of this model does retail for $930 US. It is a Swiss-made timepiece. It is marked Swiss-made, and it can be purchased through their website. I will drop a link down in the description below so you can check them out after this video. It did come in some pretty neat packaging. Well, here's a little quick glimpse of the actual piece here. But let's see what it actually comes with. So you get your warranty card and all that good stuff inside here with a nice Bastian little logo there. And here's the actual box it comes in. Inside of this box, there is a wood box, as you can see here. Very nicely embossed, actually, if you look at that. It's pretty good quality box. Inside, you will get your watch, and you do get a little customer service and owner manual as well. So it's a pretty nice little package that you get. It's very well shipped. The shipping is rather quick as well. And yeah, that's it. Let's get into the actual watch now. So here is the Bastian Antoni Turbulent. And as you can see, it is a rather unique looking watch, a very unique design, something that's quite rare amongst smaller brands, which I found really interesting with this brand. Now, some basic specifications. We are looking at a 45mm diameter case here. In terms of case thickness, we are looking at around 11mm. The case is comprised of 316L stainless steel, of course. And the nice thing about this actual watch is all the finishing is done by hand. All the brushing is done by hand. So each model will look different slightly, which is pretty cool and unique. If you take a quick look at the brushing, it's pretty good. It's pretty on point. There's a lot of unique stuff on this watch. Look at those lugs. Very cool. And quite an interesting thing on this watch is there are drilled lug holes only on the left side. Which I've never seen before, so that's definitely something quite different that they're doing from other brands. The dial itself is a sunray brown dial. As you can see, it really pops in the light, and you get, it almost looks like a deep red, but it is brown in color, and I think it looks pretty nice, especially outside in real lighting conditions. It looks even better than this. Now the actual watch, it's fairly simple. We have applied polished markers going around. We have a 0 instead of a 12 at the 12 o'clock position. We have a 4 and an 8, and then applied indices going all the way around, which are highly polished, pretty legible. I would say it's pretty legible. The hands themselves do have lume tips on them with superluminova, and they are semi-skeletonized, as you can see there. We also do get Bastian Antoni printed above 6 o'clock, as well as Swiss-made printed on the lower portion of the 6 o'clock marker there. Now this is a pull and push crown, and I thought this crown was going to be kind of hard to wind and use, but it gets really good grip. It's kind of round, and it is signed with the Bastian Antoni logo there, as you can see, which it's a very unique crown. I've never seen a crown like this, and I think it really does match the kind of gear style case this is. If you look, there's different levels of the cut of the case. As you can see, it's more pronounced over here and less pronounced over here going around, and the lugs are, you know, cut downwards, which is really cool. It's a very cool design. You know, I just found it quite interesting. Lug width is 22mm, which is pretty standard for this size diameter case here. Although the specifications do mention that this is a 45mm timepiece, I find it does quite wear like a 43, maybe even a 42.5. I would say it wears about the same as my Omega Planet Ocean, which is 42mm. I think that's due to the construction of the lugs here. As you can see, they're kind of on the case, like they come on the case, which is quite cool. Anyway, inside of this watch is the Sellita SW200-1, pretty common Swiss automatic movement. It's a very reliable one, very accurate one at that. This one running +5 seconds a day, which is within cost parameters, which is always good to see. Now, if you did not know, this movement does contain 26 joules. It does beat at 4 Hertz, or about 28,000 beats per hour, and it does have a 38-hour power reserve, hand winding, and hacking. Now, this is a double-domed sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating on the underside, which is pretty cool. It seems like a pretty thick crystal. It seems pretty well made there. You know, there are all different levels of sapphire crystals. Some people might not know that. Like some of the cheaper Asian watches will use sapphire crystals, but they're not as good quality as some of these Swiss sapphire crystals that they use. And I think that's a thing that, you know, some of you guys don't know, and you should know. Anyway, getting to the case back, we do get a nice glimpse of the movement, as you can see here. Case back is screwed down. We do get Bastian Antoni Turbulent, and you do get a nice view of that movement. They did add some nice perlage work, as you can see there, and the custom rotor, which states Bastian Antoni, which is engraved on there very neatly. I think it looks really nice. You know, even nicer than some of the Oris, you know, Sellita movements that they use in their watches. This is definitely more decorated, and you know, at a cheaper price, I think. So anyway, getting to the actual strap. So it has an embossed strap. You know, it's not a real alligator band, but it has that nice embossing. It feels the part. You know, this watch is only $930, but it's definitely a very good genuine leather quality band here. White contrast stitching. Two keepers here, one floating, one stays over here securely. And then we get a hand-brushed butterfly deployant here, as you can see, with two buttons, which are pretty sturdy. They don't really move around that much. And this just clicks into that, and then this goes right into that, and snaps down for your signed clasp here with Bastian Antoni, again with some branding. Now the strap is easily adjustable, as you can see here. All you got to do is just pop this up, and you can slide it up and down into the holes. So very easy to adjust. The strap is quite supple. There's really no need to break it in straight out of the box. It fit my wrist just fine. I adjusted it in like 30 seconds literally, and everything was just fine. Now the actual functioning of the movement itself, if I didn't mention also, we do get a window here below 12, which does contain a slight open heart. We can see the balance wheel going off there. I think that's, you know, it kind of adds some character to the watch. I think it looks good. It's not so big like some other brands do it. The actual winding on the watch is quite simple. It's pretty smooth for a Sellita. And then we get one position where you can hack and set the time here. So yeah, very simple watch to use. On the chapter ring, they also did include minute markings, 0 through 60 here, which is actually really legible if you take a look at it. So you should have no problem telling the time on this one. Now the lume is not really that much, it's just on the tip, so I'm not really going to do a lume shot, but I want to throw it on my 6.5 inch wrist, show you exactly how this 45mm case fits on my wrist. And there she is on my 6.5 inch wrist. Like I mentioned, it fits my wrist just fine there. It is 45mm, but it does wear a bit smaller. Those lugs just curve down and make it a bit smaller in terms of lug to lug distance. And as you can see, it rides pretty, you know, flat on the wrist there. I think it can just slip under a cuff there if you really wanted it to. This is kind of like a dress watch slash casual watch slash, you can pretty much do anything with this watch, but it is only 50 meters water resistant, so definitely do not take this thing swimming in the ocean or anything like that, please. But yeah, the strap is definitely comfortable. I feel like it matches the Sunray Brown dial quite good. And hey, it's an all-around pretty comfortable watch. I think it looks good. It's definitely separates itself from a lot of the other smaller brands. And that's always a good thing to see. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for today, guys. What do I think of the watch? I like it. I think it's built well. I like the hand finishing. I think that's quite different. And the band itself is comfortable. Uses a great, reliable, you know, very easy to service Swiss Sellita SW200, which I have no problem with. Basically the equivalent of an ETA 2824, and I think it's a great movement. You know, ETA 2824, Sellita SW200, same thing to me, honestly. And yeah, I think the price is just about right if you're looking for a well-made watch. This definitely is a well-made and well-constructed watch, and it's finished off quite nicely too. So if you want to learn more about this brand, you can read the written article, or you can visit their website down in the description below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video on the Bastian Antoni Turbulent, a new watch for 2019. This is Watch Addiction Watch Reviews. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of this watch down in the comment section below, and we'll talk more. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye.